Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite things that I love, and that is an Apple TV. An Apple TV isn't actually like a big screen TV. It actually is something that looks just like this. It looks like a little puck, and you plug it in by using an HDMI cord to your big screen TV, or you could plug it into a projector. It also has access to the internet. You can see it has a network cord. And so I'm going to show you how to use an Apple TV today. Now, it comes with a remote. This is important. Or you can actually make your iPad into a remote, which is very cool. And it's just called Apple Remote, by the way. And then, of course, you need to turn on your big screen TV or your projector. So let's get started. After you turn on your TV, this is what it will look like. What you want to do is take your remote and you can scroll up and down, and let's click on Settings. If you go to Settings, the first one you will see is called General. If you click on the circle of your remote, the inside of the circle, you will go to the general settings. The first one is About, and if you click on that circle again, you're going to see the name and so on. To get out of this, what you want to do is click on the menu button. So I click on Menu. Now our tech department will set up your Apple TV with a name, and typically it's the name of the room. And so if you were to click on that, you can see that you can customize a name. And that's how they set that up. The network will be all set up for you. Your restrictions, if I were to click on restrictions, you actually could turn this on and change your restrictions. No need for that. You can put a passcode on it. I'm going to click on my menu button and go back down to remotes. Now this is where you can pair your remote to your Apple TV. Or just like I was talking about before, you can use the remote app with any type of iPad, iPhone, any iPod, an iDevice would work. If you have other remotes around the classroom, you certainly could pair it with another remote. It just has to have multiple device options. So I will get out of remotes and Bluetooth. This is another option for you. If you click on Bluetooth and you have a Bluetooth wireless keyboard, you certainly could Bluetooth your keyboard to your Apple TV. You could also Bluetooth a speaker, but well, as I say that, you don't really need it because you have your speakers from your TV. Software updates, we don't have to worry about that. This is all set here. Sleep after an hour, that means it'll go to sleep and you have to turn it back on. This kind of stuff is all set up for us. So we don't really need to do much more in the general settings. So let's click on Menu and let's go down to Main Menu. What I want you to see in Main Menu is that these are all of the apps. See, Apple sets up apps on the Apple TV for you. So that is the first screen that you saw when I turned on the Apple TV and my TV. And so you can see these are all of the apps you can take a look at. Those of you who would like to do, let's say, a photo montage or a slideshow, something like that, you can upload your photos to Flickr and they can just play on a rotating basis. And you can see if you set up iCloud photos, you can do things like that. You can actually put in your iTunes account and purchase different movies and different subscriptions if you care to do that. I'm going to click on Menu again to get out. Now let's go down to Screensaver. If I click on Screensaver, you can see that I can set how long I would like my screensaver to start at, and ours is set at 30 minutes. That's pretty much the default. So if you want to change that, like if you need it up longer, but 30 minutes is a good amount of time. If you're not working on it, then we just need to shut that down. So I tend to just leave it at that. Let's click on menu. iTunes Store, this is where you can actually put in your Apple ID if you would like to purchase anything. iCloud, you can set up with your iCloud account. Audio video, this you can explore if you want. It's just about settings for your audio and video, of course. AirPlay, let's take a look at this because this becomes important. What we want to do is turn the AirPlay on, and we have to make sure, let me click on AirPlay. Oops, let's turn it on. And then I want you to go down to security. I want you to make sure that you have security set. And what we'd like you to do, or you can choose actually between on-screen code or password. Now, if you have an on-screen code, what will happen when you go to AirPlay your Mac, an iPad, anything like that, to the Apple TV is it will appear with, the Apple TV will appear with a passcode. And so that device has to put in that passcode. Now, I like that myself. It's a different passcode typically every time. You also can set a password so that any device that's trying to get in will always have that same password. I like the on-screen code because it is different, and so they're not going to be telling, students aren't going to be telling each other what the code is because they don't know what the code is. So they can't just screen or AirPlay anytime that they want. So I'm going to go back to menu. We're all set. We're in Keck 202, and we're good. So the other two options are computers if you want to create a home sharing situation, and we're not doing that in the classroom, and if I wanted to put it to sleep now. So I'm going to click on menu, and now I'm back at this screen. So basically those are the settings that I want you to be aware of and feel comfortable with. You can see these are all of the apps that I was talking about. What I'm going to show you next are a few options on your Mac that you need to make sure you have set so that when it's time to AirPlay, you can do that off of your Mac. And I'll also show you some settings on your iPad as well. Now I'd like to show you how you can set up your Mac so that it can mirror or play from your Apple TV so your whole class can see your Macintosh. So the first thing I have you do is click on your System Preferences, and when you go to System Preferences there are two options I'd like you to take a look at. The first one is Displays. And as we click on display, the one thing that I want you to make sure is checked is this show mirroring options in the menu bar when available. What that means is your AirPlay option right here will always show, and then you can click on that. You don't have to go to your settings each time to go get the Apple TV. You can just click right here and it says Keck 202, and as soon as I click on that, a passcode option will pop up. I put in the passcode that is showing on my display on my Apple TV, and now I'm mirroring so all of my students can see what I am doing on my Macintosh. Now the second option I just want you to know about, you may need to set this up, is your sound. So if you click on sound and then click on output, you want to find this device, Keck 202 or whatever your classroom Apple TV is called, and then you would put in the code that pops up. And typically when you do this once, you don't have to do it again. It will find that Apple TV, so you should be set. So now I can X out of this. My MacBook is all ready to mirror. The second thing I wanted to show you is your iPad. This is my iPad, and the kids in the class, or if you want to reflect on your Apple TV, all you have to do is go to the bottom of your iPad and scroll up, and that'll bring your control panel up, and then you can see at the bottom it says MacBook Pro 4. That's what I am mirroring to right now. But if I want to mirror to my Apple TV, you see that it is actually one of my options, so I can click on that. And now I'm getting a passcode. No longer am I mirroring to my MacBook. I am now mirroring to my Apple TV, which you can't see, but that's okay. And let me come back. Let's see if I can come back here. There we go. And so once I have clicked on 202 and I'm mirroring, then life is good. One other thing I wanted to tell you about is that only one student can mirror to an Apple TV at one time. So you know in Reflector we could mirror several iPads to Reflector. An Apple TV can only have one person using it at one time. So the student would have to mirror off and then the other student would have to mirror up. So that's how it would work with that. A couple other troubleshooting items for you. If you find that you are disconnecting, check your wireless, and that is up here on your Mac. Check and make sure that you are set with SDB wireless, because that is how your Apple TV is set up. If you are on public wireless, it won't connect because it's not talking to each other. And that goes with the iPads in the classroom as well. Make sure that you're set up with your SDB wireless, and then you'll be talking on the same network and you'll be able to mirror. If you have any other questions, please contact me. I'm Beth Clark. I would be happy to help you.